Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. This is quite possibly one of the most beautiful sunrises we've had here. Look at this absolute colossalness. And it's just getting this such a beautiful, beautiful pink glow on the mountains. I really hope my pictures are turning out okay. And look at the light here behind us as well. It is glorious. It's so beautiful. Anyways, this video is going to be particularly, oh sorry, I'm just seeing reflections here. This video is going to be particularly awesome because today we are starting our photo shoot in Chile, and then depending on the time, we will be ending our photo shoot in Argentina. So that is going to be awesome. We have a long drive ahead of us after this particular morning of glorious photographs. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. But nonetheless, we are enjoying ourselves to no end. So look, I will stop rambling and I'm going to get back and photograph a bit more because it's just absolutely magic. And if these pictures turn out to be anyway decent, or at least this one that I'm looking at right now, I'll pop it up on the screen for you now and walk you through it. But I then intend to walk along this beach. We're essentially on like a lagoon beach, and I hope to explore it a bit more and, you know, play around with some lines. We've got maybe another hour I think here before we need to leave, but nonetheless it is absolutely magic. So let's keep going. Welcome friends to the ASMR Photography Studio, and welcome to this absolutely magnificent morning filled with wonder and colour. Wow. I am absolutely thrilled with how these images turned out. The light was just outstanding, and the reflections when you got down super duper low were just perfect. This is probably one of my fondest memories in terms of photo locations, as obscure and random at the side of the road as it may have seemed. Oh wow, it just totally paid off, and it was just absolutely magic. For this first image I shot as wide as I could at 16mm, and I love the way the clouds are like all pointing towards the peaks, and the reflection of course is absolutely magic. For the second image I just zoomed in to around 35mm just to eliminate any of that clutter in the foreground and ultimately just give us a cleaner frame. For me, I kind of prefer the wider shot, only just because I'm partial to wider shots in that regard. The clean image, this 35mm image, is really nice too, and I am just so thrilled with how everything turned out. What a wonderful start to this magnificent day. Wow, it is absolutely gorgeous here, and so peaceful and so quiet. I am so delighted with that picture that I took. Hopefully it worked out well. I see the group over here now, and yeah, wow, I'm gonna head over here and meet up with everybody else and see if we can magic some more muster. But wow, what a start. Gonna try and introduce a bit more of a leading line, perhaps using the beach, but we will see. I assume these guys are after getting some nice reflections here as well, using the ice as a nice kind of barricade against the water. You can probably see the water is moving a fair bit behind me now, but over here where these guys are, like in the picture that I took, the ice is acting as a nice barrier, so it's giving that real still, calm kind of pond essentially, and it is absolutely glorious, and there's some beautiful glow on the peaks. So let's continue on and let's see what else we can do.
Looks like Neil's already stolen it.
YOINK!
So if you look at the frame.
So this totally original composition that I just found here now at the moment is it's probably the best that anybody is ever going to see from this location, and it's like, I'm so delighted I found it. It's taking a picture, guy, don't move it.
I moved it a bit.
Ah, okay, yeah, I see it.
But wait, look. So you have the line of cocaine in the bottom, and then you have the layers.
Yeah.
That's why it. cannot believe you're yoinking that.
So like, I'm delighted. I've got such a fantastic compositional eye to be able to find these kinds of things, but it is a wonderful picture nonetheless. So it's hashtag YOINK. So as I yoinked this composition away from Brendan, it really did turn out to be quite nice indeed, with the layering of the salt and the water, and then the salt, and then ultimately taking you up to these peaks. It adds a very nice sense of depth to the overall frame, and I'm really glad that I found it. Let's all just pretend like I found it. But it's one wonderful thing about being in a group of photographers. You've essentially got extra eyeballs looking for compositions, finding compositions, talking about compositions, and it's one thing that thrills me to no end is hanging out with people and having those sorts of conversations. It's such a wonderful way to spend time together as a group, all taking photos and all enjoying the absolute majesty of nature around us. What a beautiful thing. So here's a wonderful example of why it's nice to linger, even though you may think the best of the light has happened, because sometimes it hasn't happened. And this is an absolutely wonderful example of that. We got such beautiful light kissing the top of these mountains and just catching fire to a few of those last few clouds in the sky, and wow, this whole image came together so magnificently. It was such a joy to stand there and watch. What a beautiful way to end our time looking at this incredible landscape, and of course getting those reflections is the absolute cherry on top for me in these images. Beautiful sight to behold.
That's as far as I can go. Oh no! It's full of salt. I thought I could do it. Oh shit! Don't worry, just driving 8 hours with a salty foot. Dude, that would have been such a cool photo, though. You have to admit.
That would have been awesome, in fairness.
You know you jinxed it.
I did not jinx anything.
As soon as you said, I hope he falls through, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fall through.
Well, I am delighted I picked up the camera to watch that epic fail on Brendan's part. It would have been an awesome photo, in fairness, if I had got it, because it really would have. And I stand corrected. It's not ice, of course, it's salt in the water. But anyway, what a beautiful morning we've had here. Good laugh as well, so it's good spirits. I suppose it's prepping ourselves for the journey ahead. We've got about a 6-hour drive ahead of us to take us into El Chaltén, and but we've got packed breakfast, sandwiches and eggs, and away we go. So we have taken a slight detour on our road to Argentina and El Chaltén to visit this absolutely gorgeous waterfall. And look, it's behind us. Now, as Brendan said, it's probably a very frustratingly beautiful place, and I totally understand why, because nothing really ever seems to kind of line up, no matter, you know, you want such a clear view of the mountains and the waterfall, and obviously the best part of the falls are a bit over here. So I don't know, we've only really got maybe about 15 minutes here or so we can, you know, get on schedule, but nonetheless we're going to fire off a few shots and have a look anyway. It's a gorgeous place to be. Wow, it's absolutely magic. So here is pretty much the only image that I took of this particular viewpoint. I ended up cropping it, as you can see, to a 1:1 just because there was so much dead space on either side of the frame. And again, as I mentioned, just that whole balance is just kind of thrown off a little bit. The mountains, unfortunately, they're just so far away. Now, obviously you can take advantage of like focal length blending, but I have actually never done that. That's quite a good topic for another video perhaps. I've never done that, but you could try and do something along those lines perhaps if you wanted to like bring the imposing mountains over the water. But realistically, in order to get a decent frame from this location, in my opinion, would be to get down onto the water's edge, and with the barriers and the rules you just simply can't, and that's okay. But look, even just standing there, it was just such a privilege and a joy, and that's good enough for me. You gotta love a good waterfall, and it's just a mega view. I mean, it's gorgeous view. Like, I mean, it's gorgeous, but yeah, it just is a photograph as well. But look at the light over here and the structure in the clouds above there. Oh wow, what a morning. Anyways, we shall continue our journey. I don't think we're stopping now, so we're gonna fire on, God, about 5 hours or so, but thankfully the bus is nice and comfortable, so let's fire on and let's enjoy the ride. Welcome to Argentina, and you probably can't see it because the sun is so bright in the background, but we are standing at the side of the road looking at the colossal Fitzroy Mountain range. I assume it's a mountain range, and it is breathtakingly massive and just such a wonderful thing to photograph. Now this photograph that we're photographing at the minute, photographing is a very classic. It's the road, leads up to the mountain. Maybe we'll throw somebody off in the foreground to add some nice scale and depth, but really it is absolutely wonderful and so beautiful. It's backlit at sunset, so you're kind of fighting that a little bit, but nonetheless we are trying our best, and there's some beautiful light over here too happening over on these cliffs or mountain ranges here. It's just a wonderful experience. So let's get shooting and let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay folks, so if you have been watching this channel for any extended amount of time, you know that I never really process any photographs in black and white. Not because I don't like black and white images, I really do. It's just I'm terrible at actually processing them. And I figured I would give it another try with this particular image. Because the light was so harsh, to me it kind of felt natural to convert it to black and white. But I don't know, I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe I'll go look at some kind of black and white editing tutorials or something. You've got the nice line of the fence, which is cool. I'm happy enough with the composition. I just don't know what I'm doing when it comes to black and white. If anybody has any tips, or at least, if anybody has any kind of resources or YouTube videos that they could recommend, I would be delighted if you could leave them in the comments below. That would be a wonderful thing. So these next two images were taken slightly earlier, before we reached this kind of roadside viewpoint. We had stopped initially because of this absolutely epic scene. It was so beautiful and the light in the sky was just magnificent. Oh wow, it was so gorgeous. I ended up cropping this, as you can see, to a 1:1. Again, just to kind of, I wanted the image just to punch you in the face with these mountains, and I really feel like that it does. Now the next image that's going to pop up for you now, we initially stopped to photograph this bird because it was on the fence, and look how wonderfully positioned it is in terms of the mountains behind. I did capture a few different frames, but this for me I think was the best one that stood out of the bunch. Perhaps in this week's newsletter I might share some of the other examples of the images that were photographed of this bird at this vantage point. There's lots of bird pictures that we did take, probably won't make it into these videos, that I'll perhaps share with the newsletter. So shameless plug, if you're not signed up to the newsletter, do sign up to the newsletter, because it's the newsletter of awesomeness. So we have sent Brendan off down the way to add some scale, hopefully, to the image. And it's a wonderful image nonetheless. But I think just having a person in there just really adds an extra punch to just how colossal these mountains really are. And everybody's in the middle of the road here, as you can probably see, photographing his Canadianness down the road. But it is gorgeous and just such a wonderful scene. It's just, they are colossal mountains. So I think if any of these pictures work out, I'll pop them up on the screen for you and walk you through them now. So while Brendan went running down the road, I actually kind of prefer this image with nobody in the frame. The image with Brendan in it just didn't work, and that's okay, because this image I really feel like does work. Because I was so low to the ground, you've essentially got the road as it just engulfs the bottom half of the frame and ultimately leads us through to this colossal background. I love getting the opportunity to photograph leading lines like this. They're very cliche and they're very simple, but that's okay, because sometimes simple is good. And wow, what a scene we were treated to. This place is absolutely magnificent. And welcome to Argentina. Well folks, what an absolutely marvelous couple of days we've had. I think I will leave this video here for now. I was going to cut it off yesterday, but with the way the weather was this morning, there wasn't a huge amount going on, so I was going to just show you the pictures from this morning's shoot, which is of Fitzroy and all that kind of loveliness. Well, Fitzroy that never decided to show up for us, but nonetheless it was an absolutely magic morning. So anyways, all is well. We're still having a great time. A big hike planned for tomorrow, which I am super looking forward to, and like really that was one of my highlights that I was really looking forward to. And the sun is out at the minute. I'm just having a wander around town, just to stretch the legs and all. So if you like the video, folks, absolutely do give it a like, and if you fancy following along for more adventures like this, then by all means do hit that subscribe button. But for now, I will enjoy and amble, and I will see you next time. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.